holiday right now today. So yes, indeed. So today will be even a slower day. All right, let's just begin. All right, so there's nothing much you can cover for the Asian market. So let's just go back to our mainstream for today. Now, same thing again, my comments are not able to update. So that means that if I were to, there'll be intermittent pause. I need to refresh, I need to see, and click it in again. If you left any comments for me, I will be slow in my reaction. All right, so apology on that. Okay, so today is the 14th of June, 2021, Monday. All right, we have a special session last night at 10 p.m. So ended about 11:30 p.m. By then it's out, I do a bit more homework, ended at 12 to, ended about 1 o'clock in fact, and that was where I crashed. Yeah, normally Saturday, Sunday, I get very tired because that's the only time I can really rest without seeing the market. So today, I woke up a bit late, about only 6 a.m. and I tried to rush all my stuff. And this is where, but that's why this morning got a bit late. And then the computer crashed. Oh my God, that wrapped it up. Okay. All right, so this is how a FOMC works. Okay, this is all the federal chief, I believe. All right, you can see that there's Jerome Powell, that is Janet Yellen. So this is how it works. Now we will have our FOMC meeting on this coming 15th and 16th of June. So traders, you need to be watching this very closely. Now, before we start this morning, once again, we need you guys to understand that whatever I share is disclaimer applied. All right, please understand that you need to do your careful consideration of your trading activity before engaging into it. All right, so once you have accepted the above, you have identified me. All right, let's continue. All right, now why am I saying that the dollar, right? Apparently it's all right. This cartoon show you that I smell a bottom, and I already told you guys 2 weeks ago that I foresee a bottom coming out soon. Now it's not the bottom. The bottom is an absolute bottom. A bottom is actually means a temporary bottom. Now, of course, I'm not here to predict future, but I kind of believe that, right, things go in cyclical pattern. So my view is that the market is near a bottom for now. Okay, so that's why you can see that gold is already reacting this morning. All right, gold is trading downwards already this morning because the dollar is creeping up. So all these are telltale signs that you need to prepare as a trader. And of course, you can see that our trading has always been in front compared to the rest of the people who probably will come in later. All right. So you can see from the chart right now, you can the last one, 4th of June, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now on the 7, 8, 9, 10, I told you guys the sideways movement of good dollar is a little bit of a question. Suspicious, and of course on the 11th of June, which is last Friday, we saw that the dollar on its own just mounted up, right? There was no reason given. All right, apparently it's all right, it's just on its own, and when things go up on its own, that is where we know that things are going to change. So of course, the one big thing that I mentioned itself is the overnight RRP, the reverse repo operation. I told you guys when there is a huge amount of this movement here is a huge movement of this RRP. If you look back into history, it's because there is a influx of the dollar returning back to America. That means that the dollar is coming back. So when dollar is coming back itself, right, the demand will increase. And of course, that is why I suspect that, right, we may see a temporary A bottom. All right, so look at the dollar index chart. This is what happened in March. Okay, so if we're talking about the market coming down, triggering stop loss of traders, have been done. And of course, in the early June, you can see that the market started to stabilize above 89, 70 region, above 80 formation. Okay, so this tells me that, right, all this thing tells me that we're going to see a possible recovery. Okay, a possible recovery. All right. So with that itself, right, because you guys can see that. Okay, so let's continue. And when I do a Google, whenever not too sure, I do a Google update search. I realize that when key US dollar bottoming, none of the mainstream media is covering. I repeat, none of the mainstream media is covering. So in short, basically, it seems to be right that the market is not even looking at it, or they're keeping quiet. So whenever I see the mainstream media not covering and things are moving, I know that means that the boys are in the play. They are basically going in early. Then after that, when the mainstream media cover, you will know what will happen next. This is how a good trader will strategize their trading prior to that. Okay, so I hope that you guys are also watching the US dollar. So as usual, for every morning, we will do this, our daily motivational quotes. All right. all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. I think that this is very important, like this from Walt Disney. All right, Walt Disney at the start when he joined the Mickey Mouse cartoon, many people like just laughing at him and thinking that he is not able to succeed. But today, Walt Disney is almost everywhere when it comes to kids' movie and even entertainment and stuff like that. So that's why I always see this. It's never about what people laugh at you. People will always laugh at you for something that you innovate. Because they have never seen it before, it's easier to laugh at and rather than work on. So for me, it's the same thing. When we were talking about TWB system, when it comes to the very beginning, when I talk about TWB, people laugh at me and people say that, hey, Cal, this is bullshit. This is nonsense. This is not applicable. But to me, it doesn't matter. As long as our day is that we prove it through our growth, we prove it through our so-called results. I think that is most important. So guys, I would like you to also, all right, put this quote in front of you and have the courage to pursue your goals and dreams. All right. Now there are reasons for us to look at why the market is bullish right now today, quite a bit. Let's go for it. Now, first of all, the major stock indices were mixed last Friday, but the small caps, as usual, was going up, and the big tech also followed. So the big tech, like all the FANG counters, was going up. It was up by 1.68%. The small cap up by 2% overall, although the Dow and the Russell Dow and this S&P will be flat on Friday. Now, you can see that the growth stocks is now in the limelight. All right, growth stock. Now, what is growth stock? Growth stock are those companies that are considered to have potential to outperform the overall market over time because of their future potential, okay? Value stock are classified as companies that are currently now trading below what they're really worth and have provide this superior return. So value stock is more like the technology counters. Growth stock itself, right, they're talking about really fundamentally strong, all right? So overall itself, right, people are now rotating away, all right, in a way to do this growth stock because they found that it's a bit more cautious, it's going to be safety net and also want it to be more stable, all right? So that's what's happening right now and you can concentrate on them. Now, what is even more important is that the VIX indicator. Now, VIX was up all the way to 83 back then last year, March, okay, during the pandemic time, all right? During the pandemic time, we saw the VIX indicator go all the way up because the Dow was coming off. But incredibly, when it came down to 80 itself, right, I did say back then that is where it's a good time to look for buying of the stock market, and truth be told, because the VIX come all the way down. Okay, so in short, when the stock market is bad, usually the VIX goes up. When the market is good, the VIX comes down. So it's like an inverse relationship. Not every time, but most of the time. So what we are seeing right now is that you can see the VIX indicator has came off. It went a high of 29 recently. Then after that, it went all the way down to 15. And FYI, 15 happened to be one of the lowest, if not the lowest level for 1 year ago. All right. So is this the time to buy? Well, based on people who are positive, they feel that this VIX indicator now is at the bottom. So that means that the stock market is safe. Hence, therefore, the stock market will continue to rally. That's one way to look at it. The other way, like people like myself, I think that right at this point, if I buy the VIX indicator, all right, buy the VIX index, sorry, I believe that if anything will happen to jump up, it's easy. So of course, there will also some people who are betting that the VIX index will go up to about 3940 region by July this year. So the thing is this, what do you think? All right, you think that the VIX indicator will go up? Well, you can make the bet. If you think that, nope, this is too high risk, you want to buy it cheaper or don't even buy it at all, it's up to individual. Now, for me, I'm buying. All right, this is how I see for the VIX indicator. Okay. All right, so that is VIX to tell you that the market is kind of safe right now. And of course, we can see that the yields are dropping. Overall itself, all the yields are dropping. Hey, that's an interesting thing. How come the dollar is going up, the yields is going down? So I already told you guys the dollar is going up because it seems to be there is a demand for it. The yield is going down because the bond prices are going up. Yes, the bond prices are all going up. And apparently it's all right. We can see that it's very clear. The 10-year yields are coming down, but the bond price is because there's a increasingly short squeeze. Yes, because bond price was shorted by some of the boys when the yields was going up. But now the yields is going down, the bond price increases. So that's why there's some short squeeze on the bond market. And of course, if the bond market shoots higher, then obviously itself we can see the yields coming down further. All right, so that is what's happening. It shoots higher, then it does affect the financial market as a whole. All right, let me just refresh the screen once again, just in case I miss out anything here. Okay, so All right, so Eric say, don't worry, he who laugh last, laugh best. Well, I'm always laughing. So am I best? Okay. All right, so of course, this is something that I want to share with you. This is a really incredible story. Now, we know that AMC shares basically went up, then came down, and a lot of this movement. But do you know that behind the scene, how things really happen? Now, if you remember that this company, Madrid, right, they came in and they bought the shares, and within the same next day, they actually sold off the shares. Okay, it's sold off shares, and they make some profit. But do you know that in the end of the day, it's all right, this company actually lost money? A big question mark, right? Number two, we saw that the share actually goes up ballistic very fast, right? Then after that, it came down also very fast because apparently, right, AMC released out some shares and they didn't explain why they released a share, but obviously now we can see the reason. Now, let me walk you through and you can understand how this game is all about. Now, first of all, let's go back again now. Madrid basically went in to buy the shares. Then the next day, they sold the share for some profit, right? But after that, the share price go even all the way higher. So during this period of time, right, Madrid went in to sell the call. Yes, they sold the calls. That means they are the sellers of the calls because they expect the price to go lower. But the problem is that when they sold the call, someone noticed that they are the ones selling it. They don't have the shares. So basically, they combine forces and go for the kill. So basically, when this thing happened itself, right, Madrid was forced to cover their losses at big time. Okay. So what happened is this, okay? Mr. Madrid has sold some call option on AMC share, producing income to offset some potential losses if the theater chain do face problem. Okay. So basically, in order they bought AMC shares, but in case they got it wrong, they decided to sell the call option so that to hedge their position. But the problem is the derivative gave the buyers the option to buy AMC shares, okay, for about $40 as see in the market. And of course, the thing is that, the time the share price was still below $10, right? So it's like not possible. But overnight itself, right, someone got a wind of it, decided to accelerate the share price, and within minutes, the share price shoot up all the way to $70, basically sparking a massive surge in price for those who sold the call, which means that Madrid is in big losses. And of course of that, that was so big enough, it erased the gains. And of course now from the hero becomes zero. And this company now initially was supposed to make 5%, eventually lost 5.4%. So at one moment itself, right? It seemed to be getting terrible, right? So what do you see there itself, right? So this is what is happening right now in the market. All right, guys, this is really incredible. This is why market prices goes up, why the boys, they sniff the wind of it, they go for the kill. And after the kill is finished, you see that the price come back down. So if you are not involved in the market, like knowing the news, the only thing that can protect yourself is to follow the chart. When the chart's call for buy, you stay buy. The call for sell, you stay sell. So this is the scary thing that how things are move up. So if you think that market go up on fair value, sentiment, or indicators, you are actually lying to yourself. Okay, so kind of cool, right? This is the whole entire story that I unearthed for you on AMC. All right, now we are going to, sorry, there's a typo error here. Hold on. Okay, typo. 19 June, 11 a.m. Saturday. All right, guys, the thing is this, we are on the verge now for our event of the year, 19th of June, 11 a.m. Saturday, whereby we'll tell you the 5 big reasons why gold could be heading towards 2218. Now, of course, gold coming down prices, you guys are shocked, right? I can tell you this is already kind of expected by me. I already tell you guys gold price will be coming down soon first. All right, remember that? Those who remember that, please give me a REM, meaning that you remember that I did say that gold price will come down first. All right, I say already gold price will come down first, and this is really happening right now. Okay, all right, so let's us play something. Oops, sorry. Remember I told you every Monday and Friday I'll play this. Okay, so guys, this is your opportunity of your lifetime right now. Let the gold price fall and then buy from the bottom because you are ready to buy gold at 1,009. So if the price goes lower, it's even better price to buy gold cheaper. All right, so that is the point here. Okay, so obviously we have a price revision by 1st of August. We all know that already since last night. If you missed out the sharing yesterday, please look at our TWB revision group. The video is there, okay? The replay, yeah? And of course, we'll give out very special gift for attendees on coming Saturday. All right. So guys, don't miss it. This is coming Saturday. All right. At the moment now, we already have 289 people registered. Yay. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for all the support. I believe that we are one of the highest attendees for preview because normally it's right at this stage now, everybody more concerned of their daily life. To go for preview is kind of tough, but we have great crowd. So guys, please come on board early so that you can sign in early and then get a seat and enjoy that 1.5 to 2 hour session so that you guys will take home a lot of knowledge, maybe some little gifts from us. All right, so do that. Okay, so later on the second half of MAO, we'll talk about the Federal Reserve game, we talk about the core CPI, we talk about tapering and the 10-year yields, okay? Now, of course, guys, do note that we have a new segment called Susan and Friend Go Live. All right, at the moment, I won't change the name yet. We're going to change it very soon. So what happened is that Susan will basically now do the role of giving market calls live from Facebook Zoom. All right. So what she do is that every day, Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., she'll come on board on her computer, see the market as usual, like what she always do. She'll say, okay, guys, this is what's happening on DAX right now. This is happening on the Dow Jones, the gold market, the Forex market. And she will do it live. And of course, the only way to attend is that you have to be an active subscriber of TWB System. All right, so contact Susan to come on board, okay? All right, got it? Cool, okay. Need to do some amendment. Okay, now let's look at the global news right now. We are now on 14th of June. So today we are able to be in social gathering of 5 people. Yes, sir. Okay, although we still must eat at home or tapao and gathering of 5 people. Yesterday, when I saw the number jump up to 13 to 12, because the thing is, according to the minister, he says that, right, the only way that the number can, we can go straight, we can lower down the restriction is because that we need to we need to have an average coming down to 7 or lesser, or average coming down over 7 days. All right, let me bring you this video that I on in there. By the way, those who remember the goal that I shared, thank you guys. Now I get to see your comments. Really, the comments are getting very, very slow recently. Oh my God. Okay.
Singapore will reopen from Monday as planned after a month of virus restrictions. And this follows a drop in the number of COVID-19 cases and fewer clusters appearing. The country's task force says the reopening will be done in phases to make sure the virus is kept at bay. It has also thanked the public for its cooperation. Tan Sukhui with this report.
Aggressive testing, contact tracing, and vaccination. That's how Singapore tamed its latest outbreak over the last month. This means it can now lift its restrictions and move out of the so-called phase 2 heightened alert from Monday. But it's doing this in phases. To start off, group sizes for social gatherings will increase to 5, up from 2. Attractions, museums, and libraries can increase capacities to 50%, twice the current number. Crowd sizes at cinemas, live shows, and marriage solemnizations can also be as big as 250. But dining in at eateries will only resume from 21st June. That's also when gyms, fitness studios, tuition centers, and spas can reopen. Meantime, work from home remains the default.
We managed to break the chain.
Okay, so basically, guys, do note, right, the just ignore the rules and just don't try to ban it. So now we have actually 5 people able for social gathering. That's a very good move already. And only 21st of June that we have the dining in. So we have another 7 days. Let's hope the numbers stay low. All right, hope the numbers just kind of stay low. All right. So I have another video that I I have not put in your, just give me a minute now, because this is all important stuff. Let me just, okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so this is from, okay, what Ong Yi Kang has to say. Okay, let's hear him out. Okay, again, there is some problem. I think that whenever this, when I have one running at the same time, we have this little problem. Okay, no worries. I'll put it up on our stuff again. Okay, now what happened is that what I'm trying to explain here is that this is to show that basically we have an average that we must keep down at low number for 7 days. Then we can actually see, things moving. All right, so I just skip this already. Something went wrong. Let me just try this again. Yeah, okay. No worries, let's continue. All right, so this morning we saw Elon Musk coming in again. Elon Musk has come in again. He has just said that, right, Tesla will accept Bitcoin again as crypto miners use more than clean energy. Wow, use more clean energy. Again, this guy is saying things, okay? So by saying that, obviously, straight away, Bitcoin just went up. Isn't he a very smart guy? I mean, let's look at the chart for one moment, guys. Take a look at the chart right now. You know, this is why I say manipulation is easy to do. You see that? Look at it, my friends. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my goodness. You see that? I think the chart is not updated properly. I'll ask the AIMS to take a look. But you can see that pretty clear that we said something that he's not using. Tesla won't be having, allowing to be bought. So the price of thing went down all the way. Then after that, now probably he have accumulated quite a fair bit. I'm just speculating. All right. And then now what happened? Wow, he's making money again. So don't you find that this guy is really, really incredible using his making money again. With the words and here and again, and straight away money can be made. Don't you find that this is incredible? So that's why I keep on telling you this is how the boys play this game. And you keep on telling me that market itself is made out of, fairness. I can tell you that I totally would disagree with you. All right. Now we're having a bit of problem. Seems like some difficulty. I just see on my screen side. I'm only one affected. Okay. So that is a global news. And of course, this coming week, the USA economic calendar. So we have the core retail sales, but the PPI and the retail sales. Now this will likely be a very big one to look out for, but it seems that the market is looking for positive outlook. So let's just see. On Wednesday, well, we are looking at the FOMC meeting. So we kind of expect the market to be very, very slow. All right, because they're going to have it on 15, right? So only on the 16th, which is the next day, then they will have the minutes, statement, rate decision, and of course the economic projection. So that means at the 2 a.m. to 2:30 a.m., that is where things will get very interesting, okay? And of course, Thursday, initial jobless claim and the Philadelphia Federal Manufacturing Index, all right, is expecting to also dip. So all this week is still going to be a very, very exciting week. Market is going to be very volatile. Traders, I would like you to be very careful from Tuesday onwards, okay? Things can get very, very dicey. All right, now last Friday, we saw the Dow Jones was up initially at the cash market open, then it tripped all the way down to near the 350 level. Then after that, towards the last part of the day, the market pushed back up again to close near the opening price. So as usual, a lot of manipulation to make sure the week ended positive. It seems like on most Friday, the Dow will end good. It's just like telling people that, okay, I help you to end the market good so that you guys don't be naughty boys, naughty girls during the weekend. All right, so the S&P 500 climbed to new all-time high. In fact, it crosses new all-time high this morning, basically struggling away the inflation fears. Now, seriously, the question is this, is there inflation? Obviously, there are. But the problem is that the market don't care. The market feel that, right, all this is not important because now they feel that, right, the price increment is part of economical recovery. So to them itself, right, it's a good thing. So now they have managed to tell you that, it's just like in taking like drugs. Initially, they tell you drug is bad for your health, right? Example. But after a while later, right, in order to sell the drugs better, they tell you that, hey, you know what? Drugs help you to elevate, to release your pain and make you feel better so you can work. So you see the point they're trying to do now. They misconstruct the whole idea so that, right, you guys will jump believe it. And of course, later when things go wrong, they tell you, say, it's okay. See, I told you before, high inflation is bad, and then you get slapped in the face. So this is exactly what's happening right now. Now they're saying that it's okay, it's fine, no problem. And then after that, when really things happen, they tell you that, oh, actually, I told you before, inflation is bad, but you didn't listen. I tell you that this will really happen. How many of you believe that this will really happen? All right. You think that what I just said happen? Let me really feel that it's no longer important to talk about inflation anymore. This is whereby it gets incredible. Sometimes in life, it's just like that. When the boys want to basically do something, they will really change the story around and around just to do that. Okay, so let's just see what Jim Cramer has to say with regards to the consumer price index. All right, this time around, I believe that, I watched what he said. I think it's like quite interesting. Watch it first, okay?
Digging into the internals, used cars and trucks up 7.3, airfares up 7, Jim. Areas that are truly transitory or not?
Look, I think that when you take a look at Ford, for instance, where you have used cars, used trucks, David, that are actually like going through new prices because you can't get them. That's a semiconductor issue, but it's also a bit of a steel issue. Steel prices just keep going higher. People think that Cleveland Cliffs is a meme stock. You kidding me? Cleveland Cliffs is a money machine, sells 5 times earnings. So I think that there's what's in a car, whether it be aluminum, whether it be any of the chemicals, plastics, they're all a combination of transitory and also bottleneck issues. I think that the Fed has to hope that the bottlenecks go away because those can go away. And that will make it seem like it's not so bad. The bottlenecks, a lot of them are still from that wiped out of urine. The plastics.
Yes, and the ports continue to be
delayed
and containers. But it's a real problem.
No,
it's a real problem.
It is. There's not enough containers. There's not enough truckers. There are not enough people.
Okay, but why is that transitory?
Well, because there really will be people when you stop making as much when you don't work, and also there's kind of a mismatch of people where people who know that they are able to be in such demand that they command a level that is just not realistic, so that your business can't run. That's one of those big issues now.
Yeah. This was actually the topic of a JP Morgan note earlier in the week. Relative to other G4 countries, the U.S. policy in COVID was to let labor flexibility happen, and people got laid off in ways they didn't get laid off in Europe.
Right.
But we might win on the back end with productivity, better job matching, even though we have to scramble to churn and reposition.
Right. Look, a lot of people went on disability. You talk about disability all the time, David. It's a real issue. Can I ask you to resurrect that?
It's not just about the core rate, by the way. We are watching food prices. Starbucks, Jim, we talked about Chipotle's price increase yesterday. Now Starbucks talking about shortages of some syrups and some cups.
The cups are amazing. It's just like everybody seemed to have underestimated how much demand there really is, except for Boeing, which has get an order for 100 planes. They still have a lot of planes left.
There's the Starbucks thing. They're running out of stuff in their stores. They don't have.
Well, they switched to paper.
Cup stoppers, mocha flavoring, as Carl said. That's just transitory. Also, well,
they still got the triple venti cappuccino with skim wet.
Is that a demand issue, or is that back to what we're talking?
They still got the triple venti
at their suppliers as well.
Yes, they're caught. Only PepsiCo has come through this so far without a lot of problems. Now they have some problems, but not a lot. I keep going back to that Campbell's quarter where everything went wrong, right? Everything went wrong. People didn't want pantry stocking anymore, but the prices went up for everything. It was just it was a parade of horribles.
Yes, Campbell's down a lot yesterday, the stock itself.
Well, the CEO there is very good. It's like
9-month low there for a moment.
That's something.
Yeah. So on the data then, Jim, why are the pits yawning on this?
I think that people are really buying into what Powell's saying. And by the way, when you go over that actual unemployment number on Friday, people aren't making, those numbers say that people aren't making much more. I mean, those were not inflationary numbers.
The wage numbers
wage
themselves,
numbers.
even though they were up,
But
it's up over 3%.
But I think that they're still not up enough to make it so that Powell's going to change his view. And I think that, I think what you say is right. I mean, productivity, disruptive technologies will make things up. Matt Boss has got something, I'm putting him on tonight, about the 20,000 stores that went under, but it just seemed like that there were just too many stores anyway.
All right, so guys, after you hear Jim Cramer for 4 minutes, what's your take right now, right, guys? What is your take? After 4 minutes of Jim Cramer trying to explain that this inflation is transitory, can you tell me your personal view right now in the group chat and tell me what's your feel of it? All right, earlier itself, I just saw that some of you have replied to me, and I say the comment box are coming very slowly. I need to refresh almost every 5 minutes to 10 minutes. So I just saw that Fred, Louis, Philip, Jerry, Eddie all say that will happen. And Fred added on, as long as there's no jail terms, there will be major manipulation. Exactly. If you remember that itself, right back in Lehman Brothers time, it was such a big fiasco. End of the day itself, only like 2 or 4 bankers went in. All right. So imagine that it's a multi-trillion-dollar explosion, all right, in Lehman Brothers time. But end of the day, only like 2 to 4 people basically went in just to serve some time, and they got out. So end of the day, it's really incredible when such thing happen in the world. All right, so guys, what's your view right now about what Jim Cramer have said regarding to the consumer price index? Please leave your comment right now. I'll come back to that shortly. Okay, so now we can see that now on the new mainstream media, everybody seems to be pretty okay. They know that the S&P hit all-time high. They feel that the tech shares is good to go up further. They realize that even there's some losses by some companies, it's still okay. So this is the current sentiment right now. Everybody is kind of peaceful, they're happy, and they don't see a problem. Okay, so of course, we're not here to purposely have to keep on saying there's a problem in the market, but definitely we have to be real. All right, so let's just recap what happened on Friday, right? Friday, we saw the KSI was green in color. So the opening price of the market was between the 2 pivot, but of course, its opening price was nearer the pivot 1. So obviously, the market will go above pivot 1, and obviously, it will go up to KTR plus 1, right? That is what we expect to happen. But if the market do come down, well, the KSI is green in color, we expect to go to the most KTR plus KTR minus 1. All right, and of course, KTR minus 1, we have another pivot 2, which is over there. Well, incredibly, yesterday, the Dow Jones hit that pivot 2 perfectly and rebounded. Oh my goodness. Now, the low of the day, if you notice this, is 34343. And you look at it, our low of our pivot was also 34343. So you talk about this, we have a system that at 6 a.m. sharp has already produced a number, and this number happened to be the low of the day that hit at about 1:30 a.m., which is like basically almost 12 to 13 hours later. Oh my goodness. Think about this, a system that can do that. This is really incredible, and this is really insane, because how can a system know that? And therefore, it can predict to the point of almost the same identical low. Look at it, 34343 was the low of the day, and a pivot 2 is 34343. Oh my God. So guys, you have an incredible system, okay? So what happened? Let's take a look on the whole day movement. Now, initially, as usual, the market was sideways, then GTH kicked in. You have your BMB right here. This is the CCRY zebra formation. So above OP, above pivot 1, you buy. Above OP, above pivot 1, you buy. You see that? You have made money just by following the rules, guys. Then after that, if you really get adventurous, you notice that this big bar down is a BMB. I think Susan covered this at 10:30 p.m. Even at 10:30 p.m., Susan is covering this thing here. I mean, if you're telling me a commitment is right, we are probably the most committed bunch of people. From morning, we already send you messages. In the morning, we do MAOs. In the afternoon, we do more MAOs. In the afternoon, we have live calls. And even at night itself, right, we're still giving you calls, even at 10:30 p.m. Seriously, if there's going to be any coach that's near us itself, please let me know, because I'm quite sure in Singapore and probably in this world, no one does that. All right. So that is the reason why you guys really must support us, and of course tell more of your friends before the price revised hike on 1st of August. Okay. This is very, very important. And of course, what happened to the Dow Jones? The market did a CCYR triggering KTR +1 with a BMB, which I told you before, that's a very good thing. And of course, when the market breaks below the OP, oh my goodness, now look at it, the insane part. Look at the way the 15-minute chart touched the M50, touched the day low, and the day low touched the pivot 2, and also cracked below the KTR -1. And we already tell you earlier itself, right? You know that it will come down, and after that it may rebound, and incredibly, it really did. So wow, look at it. This is amazing. Now, this is not the first time we see market, our indicator predicted high and low. Most traders have to draw lines to predict levels, but we don't need. The system automatically draw it for you and give it to you. And the number that's not based on chart, is just based on the algorithm that was created. Don't you think this is a fantastic system? If you think that TWB system is fantastic, please key the word TWB system or TWB fantastic, all right? Or fantastic TWB, all right? Fantastic TWB. Do me a favor, all right? Because this is going to go right down to the comment box and people can read it, okay? All this sharing, all the comments you are writing now, because we can do a video on it and people will be able to watch what you wrote, all right? So guys, do me a favor. If you think that this is really insane, but if you think that there's another system in the world that can do that, then of course you don't need to comment. But if you think that this is really crazy, out of the world, crazy, I need to refresh my screen again to see your comments. Okay, let me just do me a little favor. All right, so we can see that, okay, Fred says that the regulators are part of the team. Yeah, set reality, exactly my point. Inflation is setting in, just waiting for the reality to hit the home. Yeah, it's waiting for it's waiting for it to happen. Really, I'll explain to you more shortly. Thank you guys for commenting. Alvin, Diana, Eric, Fred, Kelza, Michael, Louis, Brian, Carl, Edwin, Eddie, Richard. All right. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments and all the emoticons that you are flooding us with that. All right. So let's just take a look right now on the market for this morning. Let's take a look. All right. This morning, let's take a look. Okay. Now, this morning, we have the Dow Jones so flat like a pancake right now. Okay, let's talk about Dow Jones today. Now, today, the Dow Jones for 2 doji day. We have 2 doji day. Now, the last time we see something like this, oh my goodness, let me bring back my memory. Well, the last time we see a doji day, 2 doji day. Let's scan through. I can't remember I see anyone there. Here we go. We have 3 doji days. Then after that, the Dow went up. Next day, crash off. All right. So that's one movement back then. Then maybe here another 3 doji day. We have the market going up. Then it came back down again. And any more? I'm sure there are. Okay, there's 1, 2 doji day here. And after that, the next 2 days, the market sent sideways but downside before coming off. Okay. So in order to put into perspective of what we would expect from the market, let's take a look right now and try and redraw the chart a little bit. Okay, first of all, we have a very strong resistance at 34,803. I already said that before. We have the MA30 today. The MA30 now is somewhere around here. All right, I'm going to write the number for you. The MA30 for today is 34,448. So which means that as long as the Dow Jones can stay above 34,448 level, we kind of suspect that the Dow Jones will be supported. So if it gets supported, it will stay to go up again. So this is what we're going to see for the bullish sign. Now, if the Dow Jones is to pull back instead, well, it's not very possible. But again, if it does, then the selling could bring it down to the trend line, and kind of suspect that there's a chocolate bar around here. So maybe we are more toward this angle here, or maybe the most here. So we're going to have between the range of 34,150 to about 34,000 34,050. Okay, so at least from what I'm seeing right now, if the Dow Jones do come down, 34,150 to 34,050 will be the mean nearby support level because there's a major trend line. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones. All right, for in terms of the all-time high is at 35,092. The market is now marginally away from the high. So a pullback here is all right. It'll be going back all the way. Now, I still think that the Dow Jones has the potential to come back down here. That is the 5% marker, and that figure is 33,338. I remember this price very well. It's easy to remember, 33,338. All right. So if the Dow Jones do come down and break the major trend line, I suspect that we will see 33,338 level. Okay. All right. So that is the Dow Jones. The weekly chart wise, well, the weekly chart didn't end up very well, but it's still kind of supported. And I did say that this week, okay guys, I already said this week, I kind of suspect that we may see a big movement because based on the chart pattern, this week is where the short-term trend line and the major trend line that I draw cross each other. So which means that the very important pivotal point is about 34,300 area. All right, I repeat myself. The very important pivotal point for the weekly chart is 34,300. So basically what I meant is that if the Dow Jones stays above 34,300, the Dow will go to all-time high again. All right, so get my idea? All right, so if the Dow Jones do go up, it will go to all-time high again. But if the Dow Jones do go below 34,300, then I hear say that the most likely we're going to see go down to 33,283, or I just put this way, the 3338 level, easier to remember. Okay, so guys, I suspect that there could be a 1,000 point movement if the Dow fail to stay above 34,300 based on the weekly chart. Okay, based on the weekly chart, I kind of suspect that things may get a little bit dangerous. So traders, you may want to watch out for this. Okay. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones chart to explain my view. All right, let's look at the Dow today. Now, I expect the market to be pretty slow. The Dow right now, let's take a look. The Dow today, the opening price is between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. So the KSI green is going to still be more towards the upside. So the Dow is expected to trade higher later on to test maybe the pivot 1 level at 34,577. Okay. Now, only when the Dow goes below OP and drop below the 2 KCB, then maybe we will see the Dow coming down to the pivot 2 level. But I kind of believe that it's going to be very difficult because the KSI is green in color. So the downside may be limited to KTR -1 to most -3. So traders, you may want to wait for a while to let the market move until nearer to the GTH hour to begin trading. Okay, you don't want to be caught on the wrong side. Now, for the NASDAQ itself, it's kind of clear. The NASDAQ, they really don't care. The upside just keep on mounting. So which means that we are just marginally away from the all-time high level. Now, I did tell you there's a resistance level at about this point at 14,035. We are actually very, very nearby. 14,035. So if the NASDAQ do hit 14,035 and get itself restricted, okay, on the upside, so I kind of suspect that we may see some profit taking at 14,035. Okay, all right, this one already the market closed above it, so this is the new BNB. So of course the new BNB shows that, right, if this is going to be pushing up, the NASDAQ will go to new all-time high. All right, so we're going to watch this closer, but based on what is happening right now, it does seem that the positive side is now more probably will happen based on the chart views. It looks all perfect unless something drastic change internally. All right, so the NASDAQ for today, we are now very near to pivot 1, breaking for pivot 1. Pivot 1 is 14021, so now we actually broke already, it's 14,025. So the KSI is green. As long as the NASDAQ stays above 14,021, NASDAQ will go higher. It may even test the all-time high level. Okay, so I watch out for this, traders. S&P 500 this morning basically went up new high. And of course, now what we are seeing here is that the is now basically restricted at the BNB. The high of the BNB is 4251. So now the S&P is kind of stuck down there. So if the S&P can cross through 4251, then we're going to see a higher level for S&P 500. Okay, for 4251 will be a very, very important resistance that the S&P have to cross so that it can go higher. Okay, strong resistance. Okay, it's a very strong resistance level by the BNB high. Okay, by the BNB high. All right, so traders stand by for that. Okay, all right. So that is S&P 500. Let's just look at the TWB system chart on the S&P 500. All right, S&P 500 today, KSI is green. And okay, today there is no BNB, no pivot again. I repeat myself, today for S&P there is no pivot. So which means that the opening price will be the most important thing, all right? Which means that you can sell. Of course, you need to have the CCYR and CCRY, okay? All right, let me just refresh my screen to see any new updates here. Nothing at the moment right now, but of course I just see some of y'all posting very nice comment for me, like Philip, Jimmy, Jerry, Kenneth, this Susan, all the best, and Anthony, Eileen, Sam, Henry, Cheng Hui, Jerry. Thank you guys for all the great sharing. Appreciate that. Your little help here itself will bring us far and very, very far. Okay, thank you so much once again. All right, so we have the S&P 500 sharing and all the indices. Let's look at the DAX right now. DAX, wow, yesterday or Friday, DAX went all the way up, and this is the power of QE. I told you before there's a strong QE ongoing right now for the European market. You can see that European market have been going up all the way. There were intermittent pullback, but each pullback itself just basically push higher. Look at each time the low each time gets higher, and this is a very clear cut of outright manipulation. So now where are we going to go? Well, based on what I'm seeing right now, right, there is really no area to go except higher. Let me just bring it in. The new BNB, let me just double check. Yeah, it's here. So this is the new BNB, the latest one. So the latest one tells us that the upside and downside range, this range is about 190 points. So which means that if the market is going to go up by 190 points, we're going to see the DAX going up to all the way to 15855 level. Hold on, some problem here. 15855. Can't be, wait. Yeah, 955. Here we go. Wow, that means that DAX can go all the way up to 15955. Wait a minute, let me just double check this again. I think I got it wrong. Sorry, 855, sorry. Yeah. There we go, 855. Okay. All right, but still good money, right? 855 is still a lot of money, 855. Okay, so which means that if the DAX can stay up today, we're looking at 15855 to be triggered, because this is the BNB. So multiply by 1 times 1, we're going to see it going up to about 855 region. Okay, all right, so with the market crossing the BNB RL level, the potential to hit 15855 is going to be very, very strong. Okay, very strong. All right, Uncle Arun, I hope you heard that. China A50 is up, right? Like I say, today the China market is closed, but apparently the futures is moving. So that's why we have some downside movement now, very light movement, but it's down at the moment. All right, Hang Seng is closed for today. Hang Seng is closed for today. Okay, so we need to wait for tomorrow to see the market. All right. Okay, so I've covered all the indices. Wait a minute, I got Nikkei, right? Apology, my Nikkei. There we go. Now, Nikkei this morning has traded upwards, but apparently now there's some profit taking. Not too sure why, because the stronger dollar will push the yen higher. So the dollar yen is higher, but maybe the equity market is kind of concerning right now. And that's why there's a pullback on the on the Nikkei this morning. Now this morning, in terms of Nikkei chart, you can see on the day chart, you have KSI is green and you have triggered pivot 1. But unfortunately, once it hit the KCB level at 29204 is a very strong KCB. Every time the Nikkei hit 29204, Nikkei come off. Then today, you have triggered it again. High was 29205. Oh my goodness. I mean, seriously, how can an indicator be that accurate, right? 29204, you look at it, the moment it hit that level, the moment it hits that level, 29204, the Nikkei came down all the way about 150 points, just like that. So that's the reason why our system really got a lot of hidden gems. You just need to follow through and you're gonna make good money out of it. All right, incredible system. Okay, so I'm done with all the indices. Let's look at the gold market right now. Oops, sorry. Now, gold market on Friday was pretty sideways. Then there was some selling. And then as usual again, we see gold hitting all the way up to above 1,900. We thought that gold was going to go all the way. Then for some incredible reason, the dollar increased is upside and gold obviously came all the way down. And now we are seeing a follow through of selling in gold right now. I believe gold is trading at 1860 or below, 1870 and below right now. So in the mainstream media, well, apparently everybody is looking at sideways now. There's seen some fund rotation. They're kind of feeling that inflation is here, but the yields are not going up. People like this is about manipulation. Some feel that, right, maybe wait for a while, let the gold subside a little bit, and then look at the Federal Reserve meeting to make a final, decision on this. And of course, we're talking about the gold with the CPI and data. Okay. So what we saw on Friday was really something that I said this many time ago, is that the KSI is very important. The KSI is very important. Now, what happened is this, okay? On Thursday, when the gold came down right? Gold really came down because the KSI was red. But because of basically some fundamental, it pushes the gold higher, all right? So you cannot say that the market didn't make money for you. The market, when it came down, you guys shorted and make money. But when the market reversed, you had to follow the market. That's why it went up. So on Friday, I already tell you guys, even though we have a single yellow here, but gold price, because the KSI is red in color, that means that there will be downside. So initially, gold went up to hit the pivot 1. It failed. That was the first sign of trouble. And then after that, it go all the way down. And I told you guys, it will go down to the pivot 2 level, which really happened. And in fact, it went even lower. Okay, it went even lower. So let's take a look at what happened on Friday's gold, shall we? So Friday's gold, it was sideways first initially. Then after that, the BNB surfaced. And of course, gold went up by a little bit. Okay, so if you buy gold at that moment, there's nothing wrong. But once the gold price come down with CCYR and it trigger pivot, I said many times before, for pivot trading, if there's a color change that happen to be around the pivot area, that usually that color change will yield pretty decent profit. And of course, truth be told, go all the way down. Now, there was no chance given, no CCRY until this point here, but this CCRY is already below pivot 2. It's kind of dangerous. And obviously, the market continued to pressure down the gold price all the way to 1875. So guys, look at it. All you need to do is just... So guys, Friday. So can I know how many of you have made money from gold? Please key the word called made from gold. All right. Or profited from gold. All right. Let me know what you feel. All right, Uncle Arun, I get to see your text messages. Wow, 15855 for DEX. Yes, that is the level to watch out for the DEX market today. Okay. Oh, is it, Fred? Gold has just broke the 90% ATH. Huh? Okay, we come to that very, very soon. Okay, very, very soon. All right, so let me see how many of you have made money from gold. Let me take a look right now. Okay, all right. So, okay, wait for the refresh. It's still very getting slow. Okay, so what happened to the gold price today? Wow, let's take a look. Wow. Okay, so gold price has just collapsed down all the way since morning bell to 1863 right now. Okay, so what is happening on the bigger view on this? Let's take a look at the gold price first. Okay, so gold price, you can see on your screen right now, gold price is having a lower high cyclical pattern. Okay, this is a lower high cyclical pattern. All right, so this one I'm just drawing for you. Notice this. If this is A here, A, then this is B, then this is C, then this is D, this is E, this is F, and now we have G. Okay, so this is the first thing that you must understand. Okay, so by theory, if this is going to be really going down, if you look at this point here, this one is number 1, this one is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Okay, number 4. All right. Now the thing is this: when the price was coming down, the market go lower when the market is below the MA 30 and also goes below MA 200. So, but number 4, you notice that number 4 was a double bottom and it almost identical. If you look carefully again on the RSI, all right, the RSI, all right, if the market hit the same common point but the price goes lower, usually there is more selling. But now we are seeing that the RSI is able to firm itself at about 30 region and the market is going up. So watch out for the day when RSI comes down to 30 region and stop there. I kind of suspect that gold will likely be coming down all the way to the MA 200 first. So that about 1818 region. Okay, I suspect that that will be the target that the gold maybe drive down. All right, to that area, or if not, it'll be 1834. Okay, 1834. Okay, so what do you think, guys? What do you think? Do you think that the gold will go down to 1818 or it go down to 1834? Which one is your pick? Between two of them, 1834 and 1818, kindly pick one number right now. I get some water first. Running, my throat is killing me. Okay, so let me refresh the screen. Okay, we have Fred 1834, Colleen 1818, Brian 1818, Hui Kun 1834, Diana 1818, Louis, Philip, Jerry, Eddie, Azar, Anthony, John, Eiling, Michael. Wow, you guys are all the 1818 team, is it? My personal take is this, as I said earlier itself, right? I would love that to see 1818, but based on the RSI movement and everything, I think the first stop will be 1834 first. I believe that the first stop will be at 1834 first. Only if the market cannot stay 1834 and it smashed down further, then 1818 will be the level to watch out. Okay, 1818 to be watch out for. Okay, now the scary part is this. Okay, the scary part. Let me explain to you. Now, why is the gold coming off right now? Because there is some inflationary fear that the Federal Reserve will really have to taper. So if the Federal Reserve taper, that means the dollar will be pulled back. The dollar will strengthen. The dollar strengthen, then what will happen? Naturally, the gold price will actually go down. So the question is, if let's say it really happened and there's more tapering and eventually there's an interest rate hike, the dollar will even strengthen further, which it means that the gold will crash down. Well, by fundamental, it is possible. It is possible. So if let's say we really do a hypothesis, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 is the lowering down, but after that the market recover, right? Let's say we do a hypothetical. What if the market really come down to 5? That means another lower level. That means gold have to come down all the way to this point here to really fulfill the downtrend. Well, I don't kind of believe it. So that's why I suspect that, right, we should be able to stop around the MA 200 level. Okay. All right. So after that, what happened? How to bring the dollar weak again? So the only thing is this, after a while later, when this really happened, the stock market get a bit jitter, there's some profit taking, then after that, the selling lead to then more selling. Then after that, the Federal Reserve say, okay, you know what? This is enough. So let's just put back the dollar again into work. And then again, because of that, they're going to put in more money for infrastructure, and then the dollar will come back down again, and gold price this time round is not give face and go all the way up to the target of where I'm saying, which is 2218. All right, what do you think? You think that this is all possible? Do you think that whatever I share, is it possible? Let me know your comments in the comment box. All right, let me hear you guys. Okay, I'm here to listen to you. Okay, so we have that. Now let's look at the longer time chart right now. Okay, so I'm going to this is the Fibonacci from the high to the low, and you can see that now we are near to basically the BNB level. All right, so remember this last week I told you guys that it's a BNB on the weekly chart. So I did tell you that there's a potential of $60 movement, $60. Remember that? So which means that the $60 will drive gold all the way down to 1796 region. All right, if the market really go down by another $60, because this is the range of the BNB on a weekly chart, then for it to go down, it's possible to 1796. All right, so that will be below 1834 and below 1818. So that's why my personal take is this. Right, the first level to watch out for is the BNB low, which is about 1856. All right, so write down this figure for yourself. 1856 would be a level to watch. 1834, the next level to watch, and 1818. Okay, so 1856 is the low of the BNB of the weekly chart. 1834, right, that is the 38.2. 1818 is about the moving average, and 1796 is the BNB 1x1. All right, so these are the four numbers to watch out for gold. You can consider to place some buy orders at these different areas. All right, of course, you put the more amount at the bottom half, then put high amount on top half. But this is really purely discretional buying. We've got techniques, which are going to carry some danger on this. So another note here is, right, this is what just now I think we have this Fred reminding us. Okay, so take a look now. This is the ATH indicator, which we'll send to you later today. All right, so you can take a look right now that the ATH, the all-time high, then it went down all the way to the 85%, and incredibly it rebounded. And now it crashed off again now to the low end, and it tried to stay up above the 85. After 85, it stayed up, it went into the 80, 90 region. So it seems that this so-called, this all-time indicator is quite useful. So now, obviously, if we're going to talk about this, then when now it's trading below the 90% mark already, so likely it may have to go down all the way to the MA 200 first. Only if it goes down further, then it will come down all the way, and that's 1763, and that is the 85% mark, which I don't think it will happen. So unless something drastic happen, all right. So at the moment now, believe that it will be stopped around at the MA 200 region. Okay, so that will be at the moment now 1818. Okay, so that is what's happening right now for gold on the bigger scale based on conventional indicator. All right, silver is also coming off. Silver tried to stay above $28, but it failed. Now it's coming back down to 27.50 cents. I suspect that silver had to find base at about $27. Of course, if you can come down to the MA 200, that'll be even better. Okay, so for silver, I would like you to come down all the way back down to maybe $27 first, then get some base support before going up again. But of course, if the market tripped down, then the MA 200, that's about 181, about $26.21 will be able to save silver downside. Okay, All right, so that is my view on the market. Let's look at the chart right now. Okay, here we go. This is the day chart for gold today, and we can see why are we having selling, guys. Don't you realize this? Today, the market opening price is already below OP, opening price below pivot 2. So below OP, below pivot 2, there's only one thing to do, especially when the KSI is yellow, KSI is red in color, definitely it's a sell. So today, all the CCYR below OP is a sell. All right, so let's see whether what happened today. Did we follow rules? Well, indeed, look at it. Wow, the market, once it opens, it went below the opening price, below the PIV2. So no matter what you tell me, I'm a seller. And of course, you can see gold coming down all the way. So, but of course, this selling is just only a small movement down because you can see that there's some support at the moment. So for gold to really go down all the way, you have to go down to at least 1854 region to hit KTR -3. I kind of suspect that it will go there later in the afternoon. Okay? All right, so guys, take note of that. Today is below OP, below P2, it's a sell on gold. Okay, so the next wave is going to be an NECCRY. Watch out for it. There can be anything, gold can come down again. Okay, guys, we have come to the part here. Let's look at the crude oil also. Now, crude oil continue to go higher, There's no stopping it already. The market is all the way up. KSI is also green. So as long as the crude oil stay up, it could go to $71.34. Now, crude oil is very clear that it has a lot of potential there. And you can see that even the conventional chart shows no room for it to come down. In fact, it keeps on surging. So this sort of thing, is it due to the correction? Well, do you understand that, well, this is ongoing. Unless the US dollar strengthen a lot, then maybe crude oil can come off. But we have seen before crude oil going up, even though the dollar strengthened. All right. So this is something that I suspect that crude oil will still continue to go higher. And maybe this time round, it'll be going to even higher level. And my personal take is that crude oil may go up to about probably $73. Okay, around that. All right, so this is my personal forecast and see whether it happens. Okay, guys, come to the end of today's part 1 session. Part 1 is over. Let's go to part 2 right now. If you are ready to, watch out, come on board. Okay. Okay. Yes, indeed, Arun. Seems like when BTC go up, gold go down. Yes, I've been saying this, and this is why this morning we saw the BTC going up, right? Gold came off. Yeah, indeed, it is possible. All right. Yeah, Eric, if it goes break down to level 5 in gold, then of course we can basically have a very big run from the bottom, and that will be very profitable if you know how to really utilize it. All right, Kelza, that's the reason why I did tell you why I'm not buying gold yet, but probably when it hit 1834 level or 1818, I will be watching the screen carefully, and then maybe that is a time to watch to buy. Of course, with the permit that it doesn't go down further. Okay, let's take a short break right now. I'm just going to get some more water. Okay, thank you, Eric, for sharing us that if crude oil goes up, 1 times 1 is $72.43. Oh, it's all possible. It's really possible. Okay, guys, welcome back. This is where we're going to go on to alternate market views right now. Now, this is a very nice cartoon that I like. This is the Dove Hawk cartoon, whereby basically it's all spinning and you just have to guess what the Federal Reserve will be doing. So, of course, the $1 million game is that if you know, you're going to make a lot of money out of it first, all right? So we can see by judging how the boys have been moving with the dollar recently, it seemed that it seemed to be showing that there's some buying in anticipation that they may go to hawkish, all right? So let's see how it will work. Now, this is the U.S. core U.S. inflation rising at 8.3 annualized clip past 3 months. Fastest since 1982. Now you can see that this is really incredible. The way we are going up itself, the speed is something back like in 1980s or 1974 and 1969. And of course, when those time the market actually tanked. So we are moving in the same pace of this type of manner, but the stock market is still pretty strong, right? Because the market itself, right, is really heavily manipulated by the boys. So if there's going to be any time now to take some profit off the table, to me, it's timing around now. And of course, you can see that this is a real 10-year yield, Treasury yields. So although the US CPI smashed expectation again, Deutsche Bank Chief Credit Strategist Jim says that, right, the data isn't going to change anyone's mind of whether inflation is transitory or not. Because he felt that, right, the current gap between the 10-year yields is for 1.5 and the US CPS is 5%. The difference is actually 3.5%. Now, the last time we see something is 1980. 1980 is here, where it went below to about minus 4%. Now it's at minus 3.5%. So this is the first time we see this since 1980. So what I'm trying to say is that the gap has been more negative for the 10 months in the last 70 years. It's 1974, 1975, and 1980. So what I'm trying to say is that this has never been seen, and we all know that in 1974 we have a recession. So that is my point here right now. We are actually in recession territory, but the market is stock market is at all-time high level. So usually when this happens, it may not end well. So traders, be very careful. There could be some profit taking in the time to come. And I've been saying this, right, there should be about a 5 to 8% drop. And today we have some validation from other people. The thing is this, although the Federal Fed balance sheet has reached $8 trillion for the first time, all right, 8 trillion, the market itself, right, also go up. See the S&P 500 and the balance sheet is moving up in a very uniform manner. But because this taper may be just only a paper tiger by some people, because investors, the big boys, knows that once the S&P drop by 10%, the Federal Reserve will panic again and they'll stop the tapering, and again, the market will go up. That's why I tell you this. There will be a pullback first, right, in my opinion, of 8%. Then once it reaches there, it will bottom out, and then after that, go up again. Why? Because the Federal Reserve wouldn't dare or wouldn't want to take responsibility for this problem here. They'll rather, help themselves with this. So I strongly believe that the market will pull back first, that it will be temporarily. Then after that itself, the market will go up again. That is how I see, because they're going to pump in more dollar again. That's why the gold price will go higher. So now you put everything in, like, basically put them side by side. It makes a lot of sense now for Federal Reserve to basically do some tapering first or hint something like this, and the stock market pull back down, become cheaper for people to buy again, and then from there, they motivate the shares up again. All right. So that will be all for today's MAO. Today's MAO, the second half is pretty short because I think whatever I need to tell you guys in terms of the big thing is already done yesterday during my special session for TWB student. If you want to know what I shared yesterday, go to TWB revision group. There is a 1.5 hour talk over there. I think that we cover a lot of great stuff. Please, watch it. All right, you will definitely enjoy it. Now, for those people who already who have approached Ben to subscribe, right, do it ASAP because you really don't want to miss the next gold movement. All right, and of course, this coming 2 p.m. later on, I will still do my afternoon MAO, but I will not touch general market because Susan will be doing that at 3 p.m. So it will be all purely crypto, all right, at 2 p.m. So the session will be quite fast. By 2:30, we should end, a break of half an hour. Then at 3 p.m., Susan come online. She will be showing how to trade. But do note once again, you need to be subscribers and you also need to join her special Facebook group. Okay, guys, thank you so much once again for today. Thank you for waiting and enduring all this sharing together. So I wish you all the best in trading and cheers, guys. Have a great day. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye. See you at 2 p.m. Cheers. Bye-bye.